Hello and welcome back to the Prosperous Homeschool Summit. Today we have Maggie Wendt. Did I say that correctly?
You
Yes.
did. You did.
Good. And she's going to talk to us about her business, which is Whole Family Health. And the idea of keeping a healthy family can hit a lot of different points, but she actually deals with the nutrition side of things and bringing a healthy plate to the table. So Maggie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and just your background?
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Andrea, for having me on today. I just feel so blessed to be here and invited into such an awesome space and be able to talk to all of you. So yeah, Maggie Wendt, I have 3 children. I have a 7-year-old boy. I have a 5-year-old girl as of last week. And then I have a little 2.5-year-old girl. And my husband, Tyler, we've been married for 10.5 years. And yeah, we have this business here at home. And then we have our homeschool too. So I often say to people, like, I'm either, busy running a homeschool, household, or business, like constantly taking on and off hats, and sometimes as a minute by minute basis as well. But it is so dreamy. It's exactly, what we wanted for our family. So yeah, we have just been running the business, homeschooling our babies, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. So I remember when we talked, you said you were actually a special ed teacher. Is that correct? Did I write that down
Yes.
right?
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
I actually taught first grade, and I have my certification in both special ed and general ed. And I was a first grade teacher working also with kiddos that had emotional and behavioral disabilities or disorders as well. So it's been fun to have my background in teaching and be able to pull that into our home life here and take really what I learned from all my clinicals and my teaching in my classroom and apply it to my own kiddos. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, that could probably be a whole nother subject, actually, I'm guessing that we could go
Yeah,
into.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
but you decided that nutrition and bringing things to the table was really important, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so tell us a little bit about your business, how you got started, and what it is.
Yeah, so Whole Family Health started about a year and a half ago. And it really was from this place of me being a new mom and really getting into health and wellness and really trying to have a good foundation for our family. Both my husband and I are both equally into it.
Mm.
And so, yeah, we started really getting into the nutrition side of things. And it's so funny because I never grew up cooking. Like I didn't have this like big experience or background in cooking or baking or anything. So a lot of what we have built over the last, 8 years of just trying new recipes and cooking has all been really self-taught, which has been a really cool evolution over the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think sometimes in our head, I think that we feel like we either grew up cooking and we know how to do it, or, it's kind of a wash, right? We get those narratives stuck in our head of like, I either cook or I hate it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Either back or forth, black or white. So yeah, I actually never had a lot of experience in it. And it really started from this place of like how to recreate recipes, but in a really, really simple way. As we had more kids, it was like, how do I get really nourishing food on the table, but just simplified, absolutely simplified. So a lot of our community and the mothers that are in our community really love that because it's all your favorite family recipes like beef stroganoff or homemade pizza, or different dishes that we've recreated with just upgrading some of the ingredients and making it really simple, but still having it be really nourishing. So yeah, Whole Family was just kind of birthed in the last year and a half. And we have our first product that was launched in July, which is called Nourished Roots. And Nourished Roots is just this curated real food and recipe membership site that houses hundreds of real food, simple, few ingredient recipes. And our members, hundreds of members, are able to, sift through the recipes, adjust the serving size for their family. And then also right now we have launching our meal planning page, which is where actually members can import their own family recipes or use our Nourished Roots recipes and plan out their entire meal plan for the week. So they're able to craft that. It generates a grocery list for them. So we're
Oh, nice.
super, excited.
That's
And
nice.
yeah, super
Yeah.
excited to get that out there and really help families simplify real food and getting it, having us streamlining the system to getting it on the table easier. So.
Awesome. That's awesome. I know if I had something that I was like, okay, these are my recipes, and then it just whoop, this is your grocery list, then you can go, oh, okay, well, I have that. So just check that off.
Yeah, it actually is
Basically.
able to be edited too. So if it has
Oh,
like you have a lot of recipes that have olive oil and you're like, yeah, I have olive oil, you can edit it and it will, immediately cross it off before you go to the print
mm,
feature. So it's been really fun to like develop over the last year and a half and take all the pictures of our recipes and it's been this whole process, but it's been really, really fun and extremely rewarding, along the way.
very cool. Okay. So you started this only a year and a half ago.
Yes.
It's been getting traction,
Yeah.
right? Which is fabulous, of course. Did
Yeah.
you have any mental blocks in going like, wow, can we really start this in a business, like as a
Yeah.
business?
Yeah.
And like, what were some of those like?
Absolutely. So I feel like my biggest mental block is wanting to really prioritize our kids and being present and having a business right now, especially online business, is a lot of showing up on social media. It's a lot
Mhm.
of creating reels and being up to date kind of on a lot of like the newest
Yeah.
stuff that's ever evolving. And
Yes.
so my biggest thing is just boundaries and how to
Mhm.
create still that time of like our children and my husband first and foremost, right? And just especially their school as homeschool mom, that
Yeah.
takes a lot of time and effort to be keeping them up to date on their curriculum and making sure you're adding in all the fun different things throughout the year. So yeah, that's been my biggest thing is like just boundaries and staying in my lane and knowing that could I go a lot faster? Could I
Mhm.
build it a lot faster and be on the different platforms and things? Yes, but it would really be taking the place of our home life and our
Right.
children's school. And so it's just that fine balance of like, I'm so passionate about this, but like rein it in because
Yes.
we want to make sure that we're staying in check with our priorities and values.
Yes, absolutely. I completely understand that. And I think every homeschool family has probably had that same fear just stepping into homeschooling even.
Absolutely.
Like, can I do it? Is this
Yeah.
possible? And then adding a business to it. I know that from running a
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
And like I feel like God gives us like the opportunity to just take baby steps towards it, you
Absolutely.
know?
Yeah.
And
Do what you can. Yeah.
and
With what's
everybody's at a different place in their life where they can do more. So now
yeah.
let's talk about the nutrition aspect of it. So
Yeah.
you learned nutrition along the way. What have been some of your bigger moments that you've maybe just aha moments with nutrition or things you've learned that have been like, okay, we have to make sure this is incorporated? What would those be?
I think my biggest thing was not falling into all the trending diets and diet culture.
Mm,
Like, what do you, because I often get asked, like, what do you label yourself as? Are you paleo? Are you keto? Are you
hmm
free? Are you, and my response is always just like, I'm real food. We don't cut out food groups. We don't say to our kids, like, we don't have treats or, ice cream. It's all from how can we make it at home? Mostly we still go out and have treats and stuff, but like,
Yep.
how can we make it at home and make it, with just better ingredients, with more simple ingredients? Ice cream is like, just can be really simple and pizza dough can be really simple, 5 ingredients and you can have this experience at home. So it's just always like simple, real foods. My thing is you can really recreate any type of dish or recipe and just have simplified ingredients. And
hmm
that was my biggest aha was like I didn't have to fall into some sort of category that everyone else wants to fall into. It could just be
mm
it could be just low key. So that's kind of been our biggest thing was just simple and real foods. So
Awesome. Very, very cool. So what does a day look like for you? Because you run a homeschool for your kids. You have a little one, right?
little
Two-year-olds
ones.
aren't really like in the schooling bracket, right? And I
Yeah.
think that's something as like people considering homeschooling, like, I don't know if I can do this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So what does a day look like for you to incorporate homeschooling, your business, and also what it is that you bring to the table for your own home,
Right.
because you're
Yeah.
using this, right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Every
Yes.
day. Yeah. It's definitely a juggle and it's taken, every season looks different. When we started this, we had a 1-year-old, she was just itty bitty and that is so different. It's nursing and it's, different nap
Mm,
times and not sleeping through the night. And we still don't have kids that sleep through the night, but it's just ebbed and flowed. And it's been really cool to see our business ebb and flow with it. There's times where we have our foot on the gas and time where it's like, this isn't, you're going to do the bare minimum here just to like prioritize, right? Bringing it back to like just prioritizing our family. And that's number one. But the normal day in the life pretty much just looks like getting up. We all have our own routine and rhythm with just getting dressed and teeth brushed, and that type of thing. And then we always try to do our schoolwork in the morning. And that looks, like you said, with a 2.5-year-old, really interesting. It's a lot of just grace and patience. And our 5-year-old, we do preschool, loosely with her here. It's a lot of incorporating life skills more than like sit down and book work, which is more with our 7-year-old who's in first grade and reading and that type of thing. But she's really great. The girls go off and play sometimes, and sometimes it looks like everyone's just all on mom's lap and we're all, doing the book work with our 7-year-olds. So, and the beauty of homeschool is that you can ebb and flow too with your schedule. Some days we just completely scratch it and we just wait till a weekday or a weekend day when my husband is home and, my 7-year-old and I can scooch out the door for a little one-on-one time. But yeah, the biggest thing with homeschool is just we take it day by day, right? And we just incorporate our life into, school. So we do nap time, which is really my work time, whether that's doing a recipe. I do a lot of filming recipes, which my kids actually have gotten into as well. Just everyone gets up in the counter. My 7-year-old is really into just looking at the tutorial aspect of it. And he actually loves to draw. So he does a lot of tutorials on drawing. And it's really cute to see and hear the words that come out of his mouth. Like, and now, he's picked up on some of the things that I've done in my recipes. And he's like, and now I'm going to draw Mario's head, just little things like that. So it's been really cute. But yeah, my work time is either before the kids wake up in the morning at 4:30, or it's always in that nap time chunk of the day where my kids have quiet time and it's just everyone's little reset in the day. So that's really that. And then afternoons are really our time to get dinner on the table, and the kids really always are on the counter with me. That is like my thing that I think when I'm old and gray, I'm going to love the most. Like I'm going to miss it so much. Just, I will start the KitchenAid or I will pull out stuff from the fridge and all their little feet come pitter pattering into the kitchen and they hop on the counter and it is like our time. And that's been really cool to see evolve over all these years. Everybody's welcome and it's, mommy, can I pour this in? Is it my turn? And they're in it, and they're able to see, blessing their body with good food, and they're able to see that time with me too, and really stewarding them, in what we find is value in our family. So
that's so great, because I think of the fact that when I have meals and I'm like following a recipe, especially if it's a new recipe,
yes,
I'm like, no, don't touch it.
yeah.
Like that's gonna get messed up, so like I need to calm down a little bit as a person and just realize like there's joy in bringing them in and just give them the right kind of like part that they can do, right?
Yes. Well, and it evolves over time too. I mean, I think in the beginning when I was just learning, I was definitely like, back it up, sister, back it up, I gotta put this in. But I think the more that you do it and the more they get used to it too, and that they know, kind of like the rhythm of it, the easier it can get. So yeah.
It sounds like it brings your family joy.
It
right?
does. It brings us
It brings joy. Yes.
And even, tying it into how can we serve others, right? Like we make meals for families and cookies, and it's kind of just our way of giving back to the people we love and blessing their bodies and that type of thing. So it's definitely a thing for our family.
Yes.
So
I love how you said it's blessing your body.
yeah.
Like, wow, that's a great statement.
Yeah.
Like you're blessing your body when you're eating good food. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That hits me a little bit. especially when
Yeah.
I'm a person who loves like gummies.
Yes,
Like that's probably my weakness, but there's good nutritional gummies out there too now.
there
Like
is. And
you
we
can find
actually,
them.
yeah, we have this like 3 ingredient gummy that we use all the time. And it's just 3 ingredients. It's like grass fed gelatin and you could do your juice, your favorite juice, and maple syrup or honey, and it's just three
Oh, nice.
ingredients. You make the molds and you can do like little cubes, or you could do like gummy worms, or whatever molds you want.
Okay, so tell me a little more.
Yeah, so like we actually make them like weekly because they're high in protein. They're easy for the kiddos to like grab out of the fridge. They think they're fun because they're, squishy, and they're good. So that's actually a staple in our house is gummies. And
Okay.
you can switch up the flavors. You can do like orange. We did like an apple cider one for fall. There's just different
Hmm,
juice that you can use to make it have different flavors. So yeah.
very cool. Okay, so do you have to, we're getting into a recipe
Yeah.
now.
Come on.
So do you have to like boil the ingredients together
Yep.
and
So
then you
you
pour them in the molds, or is it just like a stir and go kind of thing?
So you get a pot, and then you put your juice in, whatever juice and whatever flavor you want. And
Uh-huh.
then you're gonna whisk in the gelatin, and it kind of clumps together if you do too
Okay.
much. So you kind of want to sprinkle it in.
Okay.
And then it'll boil, and then you'll add your maple syrup or your honey. And then, yeah, so then it's kind of like a mixture, like a thin mixture. And we usually just pour it into like a Pyrex 8 by
Okay.
8, and we do cubes. Like I used to try to be real cute with the molds, and
Uh-huh.
way too much time for me. After a while, making them weekly, I'm like
Yeah.
trying to scrape out the worm.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, we just usually do the cubes, and then you pop them in the fridge, and then in like 2-3 hours, they're just firm, and you just cut them into cubes, and yeah, they're
Nice.
they're really good.
Nice.
Yeah,
Is it like a 1-to-1 ratio with
a
that?
one, two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, like okay. Oh, that's fabulous.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm
it's a
game.
simple
I'm gonna have
recipe.
to go try to find me some gelatin now.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Grass
So
fed, you said though, huh?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
typically,
I'm
yeah.
not sure. Would that be a Whole Foods kind of purchase or like,
So we typically do perfect supplements, and we just get a
yeah.
big tub. So yeah.
Yeah, if you're making it weekly, of course. Yeah, it'd be great. See, okay, so that's the kind of stuff you guys learn
Yeah.
and get when you sign up with Maggie, with the whole family health program. Um, so that's fabulous that we kind of like walked into that a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, so you've been able to make money from this then. You've been able to create an income, or is it still
Great.
kind of in
Yep.
that stabilizing? No,
Oh,
you're
yep. We've created an income. Yeah, and we just launched like July, but it was such a hit. I was not expect like kind of what you said, like, were you expecting this?
uh-huh.
Did you think that it was gonna, blow up like that? And we didn't. It was just a passion of mine. And I was like, I had this idea since for like 4 years. And I was like, finally just like, let's do it. Let's
Uh-huh.
find somebody to help us. All the stuff you don't think about, like coding a website and creating
Mhm.
all this stuff. But we finally just went for it, and we had such a huge turnout when we launched in July, just like hundreds of women and moms that just wanted real food simplified for them, and easy, and tools and software and a community to help them,
Yes.
navigate. So
Yes. Yes. Like I just said, I love gummies. Like I was feeling really guilty about that.
yes, yes, we love gummies too.
Available like that. That's incredible. So
Yeah,
that's what the community does, right? We
yep,
support each other and you can begin to ask questions like, how do I make it healthy ice cream? How do I make healthy this, healthy that, right? So that's fabulous. And you have recipes of your own. And then the
yep.
community. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that program and what that
So
looks like.
yeah, so Nourish Roots, so it's a membership, so you pay monthly, and what you have access to is you have hundreds of real food, simple recipes. We have a search bar, a really personalized and customizable search bar, so you're able to search by collection, so like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and desserts. And then you're able to we do a lot with seasonal recipes. So as we, navigate the different seasons, we highlight for you, this is what's in,
Mm,
season right now, which is going to be cheaper, which
mhm.
we're really tying in a lot with inflation right now and the cost of groceries. Like, how can
Sure.
we help our members not compromise on the quality of their food, but still, keep their grocery budget in check, because we're kind of
Yeah.
all feeling the
Yeah.
effect of that right now.
Yes.
So we do have, the different search bars, and then you're even able, what has helped our members out a lot is we teach you how to look at what you already have in your pantry before you go off and plan another meal. So if I have,
Mm.
a lot of rice or a lot of chicken to use up, you're actually able to write that in the search bar, and it's going to auto populate all the recipes that have those ingredients in them. So you're going to be able to choose a recipe that uses the ingredients from last week to kind of help with that a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah. So then, yeah, in the meal planning too, that helps, create with the grocery list, staying on track.
Yes. Yes.
So
Awesome. Well, it sounds fabulous. Just absolutely fabulous. So why don't you tell the audience what you are giving to them as a
yes.
beautiful gift if they connect with you?
Yeah, so we are gifting everybody that connects 3 free months inside our membership for Nourished Roots. So you're going to have access to all of that. You're going to have access to the hundreds of real food, simple recipes. You're going to have access to the community. You're going to have access to the meal planning page. And then also something I didn't really touch on yet, but we have this ingredient directory, which when you look at the ingredients of every recipe, and you click on it, let's say chicken inside of chicken Alfredo, you can click on the chicken, and I do like a little blurb of how to shop for chicken. So like pasture raised chicken, that type of thing. And then I kind of link up some really good high quality brands as well. So it kind of just gives like how to shop, if you
Yeah.
will, if that's a stage that you're in within your journey. So
That's a
yeah.
good point. That's a good point. So it's interesting. I actually had a conversation with my husband yesterday, just about like setting goals and what our goals are for this next
Yeah.
year. And I was like, he's kind of taken over the whole meal side of things because I've
Yeah.
been doing so many
No,
parts.
yeah.
And and I was like, thank you for doing that. And I'm like, that's one of the areas that I've had to let kind of like bleed out because there's been
Yeah.
so much more on my plate and I needed room for my brain to process. But something like this would be really helpful,
Yeah.
so it helps the homeschool mom, just if you're homeschooling, but also people who are working and they want to
Absolutely.
homeschool or just want to, it really just helps everybody.
Yeah. 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 It's a good
So
tool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, is there any little piece of advice or anything you'd like to say to the homeschool families before we log off? Any words of encouragement or anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I think everybody that is homeschooling is doing such a wonderful thing for their children, just investing so much time and energy, and helping them develop in such a personal and intimate way. And I think it's amazing. I think for the next generation of kiddos that are having that opportunity, it's an absolute gift. Even though it's a lot of sacrificing, and
Yeah.
some days are really tough, where we really are gifting our children just such a beautiful experience. And I'm just proud of everyone that's choosing to navigate, this type of experience.
Yes. I would say for you, it's like you've just learned how to incorporate them
Yeah.
into everything. And that's really what it's about. Because
Yeah.
then we're the ones who are leaving the impression on them about, I mean, you're giving them life skills, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
fabulous.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Maggie. I appreciate you coming on here with us. You guys can look for her at wholefamilyhealth.com.
Yep.
And we also have her link in the email that was sent with you guys today. All right. You guys have a beautiful day. God bless you all.
Thank
And
you.
we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks.